Hi guys, thanks for coming.
Hi.
Hi Ali, nice to meet you.
Me too.
Hi Noura. So first of all, tell me why you're interested in the Pilot.
Basically, I have a sedan car at the moment,
Right.
but as my son is growing up, so we're looking for something powerful and stable.
Okay,
And for me, I'm a housewife, so I need the car to do shopping, meet my friends, and pick up Yusuf.
okay, great. I think Pilot is going to answer all of those needs for you. So let's go and have a closer look.
Can I go and play?
Sure.
So guys, the vehicle we're looking at here is the Honda Pilot Touring Grade. So the first thing you'll notice, it has the 20-inch machine polished aluminium wheels, but also it has Honda's advanced four-wheel drive system, which I'll explain a little bit later on. But from a design point of view, as you can see, it's capable of all types of terrains, elegant looking, so really great on the road, but also off-road. You'll love the performance. So we have a 3.5 litre V6 direct injection engine. So when we go out for the test drive, you're really going to feel that performance. But also there are many other features like Honda Sensing, which is a driver assistive safety feature. Again, you'll experience on the road. It does many things by itself. So sometimes when we're distracted or some emergency happens on the road. So really great features that you're going to love.
Wow, that's a lot of things to understand. But is it advanced as inside?
Yeah, so inside there are lots and lots of features which I'll explain. Certainly one of them is cabin talk, which you will love, and also your son. When kids get distracted and whatever and they're misbehaving, parents are talking to them. Now you can speak to them through their headphones, which are wireless, and also through the car. So you don't need to shout at them. But also inside, there are many Honda Sensing functions, which I'll explain, but also the four-wheel drive system, which has 4 different modes of driving.
Well, let's see what's inside then.
Okay.
How did that happen? You didn't even take out the key.
Right, so the Pilot recognizes that I have the correct key. Okay, so as I put my hand inside here, the touch sensor recognizes I've got the key and I'm about to get in, and it unlocks the doors.
So no need for a remote?
Well, the only time you'll ever need the remote is if you want to start the engine remotely, on a very hot day, so the air conditioning, etc. can come on. Other than that, you never need it.
Wow.
But how I can lock it?
2 ways. I can just press the button,
Okay.
okay? Or if I walk away, if I've got my hands full and etc., the Pilot locks itself.
Excellent.
That's impressive. But does this work on the rear tailgate as well?
Yeah, so rear tailgate and also the passenger door on the
Wow.
other side. So works both ways.
Amazing. That's what I've been waiting for. Come on, let's get in.
So Ali, if you can just get in.
Sure.
And Noura, I'll walk you around to the passenger side.
Thank you.
Let me just get the door for you. So
Thank
make
you so
yourself
much.
comfortable.
Thank you. Amazing.
There's
Ali, I want you to get really comfortable in this seat. So we have an 8-way power seat. Okay, so put it in the position where you feel really comfortable. And also there's a lumbar support here as well. So that makes it really comfortable in those long journeys if you start to get a lower back pain. So it's going to be really comfortable for you. Also, just adjust the steering wheel so it's in the right position for you. And we have a really nice armrest on the right side of the driver's seat. So when you're in those long journeys, it's very comfortable and you can just hold the steering wheel. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it's my own car.
Excuse me, don't you mean our car?
Yes, our car.
Actually, the Pilot is made for both of you. And the reason being that now you've taken a little bit of time to get your seat in the exact position that you are comfortable with. Now, when your wife gets in, maybe she moves it forwards or backwards, etc., and then you have to reset it. Now, with the Pilot, there is no need to do that because each remote of the car is coded to the different person. So when you get in with your remote, it will automatically adjust to your settings. And when Noura gets in, it will automatically adjust to hers.
Amazing.
That solves so many arguments.
And one of the best features is when you're getting out of the car, as you turn the ignition off, the seat moves fully back so you can get out nice and easily. Okay guys, let me explain a little bit about the controls and functions on the steering wheel. So Ali, on the left side of the steering wheel, you have all the controls for your audio and the customization of the driver information interface. There is a home button there, which takes you back to the main menu very quickly. And also you got the controls for the hands-free telephone. So really easy to use, very intuitive. On the right side, you've got the controls for the Honda Sensing. We touched on this subject a little bit earlier, but Honda Sensing is a driver assistive technology which is designed to reduce driver fatigue. Especially when you're driving at night, you know, you're a little bit tired. It can take over some of the functions automatically. So if there's a hazard on the road, you may not see it, but the car will automatically brake and also do some of the steering for you.
Yeah, I can see this feature can help me, especially in I'm doing lots of long journey in the night and late time. So my work is not like from 9 to 5.
Yeah, right.
So this feature will be helpful for me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
The auto lights and rain sensing wipers are also there. But this particular feature and technology, when we go out for the test drive, you will experience this on the road. Okay, so you're going to really love that.
So what about the interface? So I can customize it like a seat?
Yeah, exactly. So same way as we memorize the seat positions. So again, you can have the essential information that you want. So maybe navigation, telephone, or audio controls and etc. So you can select those and only those items will be shown on the interface.
I'm running out of battery. Can I charge my phone, please?
As usual, you always run.
So Noura, see the pad in front of the shift lever? So you can put your compatible phone on there. So it's wireless charging, so it will charge automatically. So no need to worry about wires.
Amazing. Like this?
Yeah.
Wow, lovely. What about music? How do I play music?
So again, you can Bluetooth the music onto the audio screen, but also you have USB ports. So if you've got music on a USB stick, just put the USB stick in and you can access all the files from the screen. So really nice features. This is the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Because obviously when you're driving, you're always getting messages and that kind of stuff. That the messages will be read out to you by Siri if you've got the Apple Car phone. And you can also reply to the messages by voice. So you don't need to stop and text, etc. So you can concentrate on the road and driving, and by voice, you can do the messages. Okay guys, Pilot isn't just about entertainment and space, but it's also about performance.
So what is the power and how many gears does it have?
So we have a 3.5 litre V6 engine, which produces 280 horsepower, and we have a 6-speed automatic transmission.
Okay, but isn't it hard to control this amount of power in a big car?
And normally, yes, it would be, but as I mentioned earlier, we have this intelligent forward drive system. So when you're driving and as you throttle, the power is shifted from front to rear wheels automatically. But also when you're taking a sharp corner, in the rear wheels, power is shifted from left to right wheel. So you're always under control, and it's going to have great speed also when you're exiting out of a corner. It's a really, really great drive. At Honda, we don't compromise on safety. So this particular model has 6 airbags as standard, and also with our award-winning ACE body structure, which is designed to have crumple zones at the front, so the cabin is always intact.
That's great. But you know what? While I think I'm a very careful driver, you never know what can happen on the street. Especially when I'm driving my son, I prefer to be extra careful and never to reach a situation where the airbags is needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, remember we spoke about Honda Sensing earlier. So Honda Sensing can also assist while you're driving. So it has autonomous braking. So sometimes we may be distracted inside the car and you don't see what's coming up. The car will take over the braking and give you some warnings. So there are many systems within Honda Sensing. So lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation braking. So all of those are there to help you when you're driving the car.
And what is this button?
Oh, remember we spoke about the intelligent forward drive system on the Pilot. So if you're taking the car out onto sand and you really want to enjoy the thrill of driving on the sand, you press that button, you can select the sand mode, and automatically the car adjusts some of the systems so you can enjoy really the drive without worrying that I have to change some settings.
It's useful.
Amazing.
And if you look a bit further forward, so we have a Blu-ray player, at the back so your son can enjoy watching the films. And above that, we have the tri-zone air conditioning, so driver and passenger can change their settings, but also the passengers at the back.
That's amazing.
Now, there's one feature that I haven't told you, which you and your son are really going to love.
What is it?
And what is it?
It's called Cabin Talk, a great feature when you have a car full of people. So included in the display audio, there is an app for Cabin Talk. The audio system also has the normal navigation, hands-free telephone and Bluetooth, all incorporated in the display audio. Now, I'm sure Yusuf is a great kid, but probably gets bored like any other child at the back, right?
You know, sometimes we have to stop the car to make him sit still.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, don't blame him. All kids get bored, you know? So, but with this feature, you'll be able to communicate with him and also even second and third row passengers through the car audio system, or even if he's wearing his wireless headphones.
That's a great feature, not only for Yusuf, for anyone who's sitting in the back.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys, let's get you out of the car and I want to show you a couple of exciting features in the rear passenger seat. Just close the door. As you can see, the pilot's body is as strong as it looks. Hi, Yusuf. So when I open the door, these side steps really help you to get in, but also very, very strong. And again, for Yusuf, it's going to be really nice with this one-touch electric seat. So as soon as you push the button, the whole electric seat moves forward so you can get in and out really easily.
That's nice, and I don't need to pull it myself.
No pull levers or whatever to pull, so just press the button, seat moves forward, and you can get in and out. Ali, why don't you try and get in?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, looks like Yusuf was much quicker than you. You see how easy it is to get in?
It was so easy to get in. I think it would be perfect for my mom.
Yeah, I think also for adults, you can step on the board here and just easily get in. Perfect. Now Yusuf has made himself comfortable in the rear seats. Why don't you guys get into the middle row and make yourself comfortable also. So Noura, if I can ask you to get in first.
Sure, thank you.
Ali, if you can just follow her, please. So very wide entry, so nice and easy to get in. And as we discussed earlier, so the rear passengers never get left out when they're in the back of the pilot, because we got that clever cabin talk where you can communicate to all the passengers, but also we have a rear entertainment system. So the rear passengers can watch a movie, listen to their favorite music with the wireless headphones. But when you're on a long journey, what's the one question kids are always asking you?
That is...
Are we there yet?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the pilot, we have an app called How Much Further. So the kids can look on the screen and it counts down the journey within kilometers, also with cars flying in, aeroplanes, balloons. So it keeps them entertained and you guys can concentrate on the driving and get to your destination safely. And if you look to the center console there, you'll see there are two charging points. There's a HDMI input, which can be displayed onto the screen at the top, but also rear air conditioning. So the rear passengers can control their air conditioning independently to the front.
So I can enjoy my AC without complaints from the back.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay guys, let's get you out of the car. Yusuf, you can come out also. Just come out. So let me take you to the back and show you some great features on the rear.
Can I go play?
Yeah, sure.
So the rear design is very unified with the side profile, especially with these LED bar type lights. It gives the pilot a real elegance look.
But I don't think it's easy to park such a big car like this.
Yeah, normally you would think so, but we have a rear view camera. So when you select reverse, it gives us 3 different views on the display audio in the car. So depending on your conditions where you're reversing, you can get a really wide view, long view, and also top down. So which means that you know exactly where your car is.
So I can see it on the screen.
That's right.
And hear the difference in sound as I get closer.
Yeah, absolutely. But also in addition to that, we have the parking sensors. So as you get closer to the object, on the screen, the color will change from yellow to amber to red, telling you exactly where your car is. Remember we spoke about Honda sensing?
Yes.
Yeah, so we have a rear cross traffic monitor. So also when you're reversing out of tight spots, you know, you can't see if there's a car or a motorcycle going past. Rear cross traffic monitor uses radars which are incorporated in the rear bumpers. What happens is when you select reverse, in that display audio, you'll be shown a direction on the screen if a car is coming or a motorcycle, and it will give you warning by audible and visual. So you cannot go wrong, and if there's something there, you stop. Once that goes away, you can carry on reversing. So really, really safe. Remember we spoke about the smart entry at the front, and both driver and passenger door have the touch sensors. Now in the tailgate, we have a button here. So again, if I've got the remote with me, I can press the button and the tailgate will open. So no need to press the button on the remote.
But what if my hands are full? Because often I have shopping bags,
Right.
and you know, it gets tough to get in.
Now for exactly that reason, the Pilot is fitted with hands-free power tailgate. Now I have the remote on me, so imagine I'm carrying some bags. All I need to do is a simple kick action underneath the bumper and the tailgate opens.
So how do I close it?
Okay, there's a number of ways you can close the tailgate. I can press the button on the remote if I've got the remote in my hand. I can press the button here also, which will close the tailgate. And if you're inside the car, there is a button on the dashboard you can press, which will also close the tailgate.
I hope Yusuf didn't get his finger stuck here.
Right, that will never happen on the Pilot. So if you imagine I start to close the tailgate, there's touch sensors all the way along the edge of both sides of the tailgate. So the tailgate will just reopen. There is also a load sensor there in case someone's foot or something or an object, and the tailgate will just open.
That's a great safety feature. And where is the spare wheel?
Right, normally the spare wheel is here, but for the Pilot, we put it underneath also to keep the weight down, but we've got a hidden compartment here. So if you're leaving work and you've got a laptop or something, you can leave it in here securely. It's really nice.
That's brilliant.
Also, you can have a completely flat floor by folding the seats down like this.
Easy.
It is.
Now, Noura, you might be wondering, you've got loads of shopping in your hands,
What
right?
do I do?
How do I close the tailgate or even open it, as we discussed earlier? Exactly the same way. I can just kick action underneath the bumper and the tailgate will close.
That's so easy.
It is.
Okay, let me explain a couple of interesting points on this side, which you can't see. First is about the chassis. So the chassis has a very low center of gravity. What that means is when you go out for the test drive, the car is going to handle beautifully. It's going to take all those corners sharply and you'll feel in control. Secondly, it has a rear multi-link suspension, which means that the passengers in the back and also at the front are going to be really comfortable because it absorbs the bumps really nicely. And of course it has ABS, vehicle stability assist, Tpms with fill assist.
By the way, what is fill assist?
Right, so if your tire deflates, you go to a gas station and fill it up. Now, if you do that with a Pilot, it automatically tells you that you are at the correct pressure by flashing the light and sounding the horn.
That's so useful.
It is.
Really nice. So let me take you to the front and we'll explain a couple of other points. So the Pilot is fitted with McPherson strut front suspension with dual pinion variable gear ratio steering. What that means is when we're out for the test drive, the steering is going to feel really precise at high speed, but when we go to park, nice and light, that gear ratio will change and it's easy to put it into the parking space. At the front, we have full LED headlights, including daytime running lights, which are LED. Again, LED fog lights, so really nice and bright and using less fuel. And also, more importantly, we have front cornering sensors. So again, for parking, much, much easier. The Pilot has a very distinctive front end design, especially with this two-tier chrome wing over the LED headlights, and also with the piano black lower grille.
Yeah, but why the Honda logo here is in glass?
Remember we spoke about Honda sensing. So the radar, which detects the cars ahead and also for pedestrian detection and also for the collision mitigation braking system, works in conjunction with the camera on the windshield. So the radar is mounted behind the badge. So that's why the badge is in glass.
Can we have a look at the engine, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Just let me open the bonnet.
Yeah.
So we have a 3.5 litre V6 direct injection engine. So mated to, as I mentioned earlier, the 6-speed automatic transmission. It's going to drive really fantastically when we go for the test drive. But also we have this fantastic technology called variable cylinder management on this engine.
Sorry, what is that?
So remember, it's a big, powerful engine, 280 horsepower. Now you don't need all that power all the time. So when we're driving slowly or cruising in city, what it does, it shuts off 3 of the cylinders, right? So that means you save on fuel and also in your pocket.
So power and peace of mind, all in one.
Absolutely. Yeah. So should we go out for a test drive?
Let's go.
Come, let's go.